Tonight, recognizing and celebrating excellence in the in-house legal community, the National Post and ZSA Legal Recruitment are proud to present the 17th Annual Canadian General Counsel Awards, presented by Baker McKenzie, Bereskin & Parr, Blink Equity, Borden Ladner Gervais, BMO Bank of Montreal, Deloitte, Dentons, Fasken, Gowling WLG, LexisNexis, Osler, Hoskin & Harcourt, Simplex Legal, Sun Life, Wolfson Bell, and Women General Counsel Canada. Joining us in the celebration from across Canada, we welcome our distinguished guests, the representatives of our country's leading corporations and law firms. And now, please once again welcome our host for the evening, Harvard Senior Fellow and former Deputy General Counsel and Chief Regulatory Officer at BMO Financial Group, Kelley McKinnon.
Can you first join me in saying a great thanks to Tyler and the band? I don't know about you, it's my first night with live music in a long time, and it feels pretty great. Bonsoir tout le monde et bienvenue. It is a real pleasure to be here in person with you this evening. And it feels like there is this magical combination of joy in the room, along with some relief to be finally out, dressed up, and in the company of so many friends and colleagues. Tonight's gala dinner will be an event like no other in the almost 2 decades of the Canadian General Counsel Awards. 3 years since we could gather in person to celebrate the finest minds and the most dedicated talent in the in-house bar. On that note, may I ask all of the nominees in the room to please stand so we can recognize your accomplishments in this unprecedented year. Everyone, stand up. Thank you. What an impressive and fabulous group, and we're all excited to share the evening with you. For many of you, this is the first time you've been in a big crowd without a mask on, right? And it takes some getting used to for some of us, doesn't it? I was just in Europe and the Middle East for a few weeks, and of course mask mandates ended there quite some time ago, and what surprised me was how quickly people's behavior had actually returned to what seemed normal pre-COVID. Except, of course, when you were standing in a crowded elevator and somebody coughed, and you could see that little moment of tension when people thought about the germs and the air ventilation systems. It wasn't that long ago that the word bubble only connoted things like champagne, bubble baths, or an overheated stock market. Daily briefings had us all obsessed about our close contacts, the health and safety of family and friends, and sizing up exactly what was 2 meters. We all became risk managers as we monitored new variants, hotspots, and the latest vaccine effectiveness surveys. Somebody said to me as I was thinking about preparing for this event, "Do you think we can joke about COVID yet?" And recognizing that so much tragedy and continuing negative impacts affect many people, we can laugh at our Zoom screen lives. Didn't everyone have something embarrassing happen when you were virtually connected? Your dog barked, your kids yelled, you dressed business casual only on the top half, and you forgot about that when you got up to go to the bathroom. In my house, we developed a deep sense of moral obligation to never leave a bottle of wine unfinished. Which brings me to a really big challenge for tonight. I've talked to quite a few of you who shared the same challenge I did when you went to the fancy part of your wardrobes and you met the disillusion that things didn't quite fit the way they used to. Once it was toilet paper shortages. This week in Toronto, Spanx was sold out everywhere. Now, half of the room knows what Spanx are, and the other half, I think you're secretly going to be letting out a button or two after dinner before the dessert comes. But speaking seriously about the challenges we have faced over 27 months, tonight is a recognition of your ingenuity, adaptability, and resilience. One managing partner told me that a huge surprise when the world shut down in March 2020 was just how busy lawyers became. And the even bigger surprise, he said, was that 2021 was even busier. Every company and organization faced some unprecedented or immediate crisis. COVID proved the deep value of lawyers and your staying power under pressure. The other message I got from leaders in the bar about the past year is that people are still feeling a little bit exhausted. The demands, the surprises, the social isolation. And on top of that, right now in the world, we are dealing with daily live feeds of tragedy from Ukraine, continuing societal inequities, complex questions of how to respond to climate change, and worrying inflation. Whether you watched the cross-examination of Johnny Depp, which I do not recommend as good training for litigators, or whether you watched the live hearings of the US January 6th insurrection, we are struck by the challenges in the world of disinformation, polarization, and in some cases, violence. Uniquely American in scope, perhaps, and yet issues to which we are not immune. But there is nonetheless so much to be optimistic about. It is to the great credit of the in-house bar that we have become increasingly comfortable talking openly and compassionately about mental wellness and how to meet those needs. The in-house bar was already a leader in diversity and inclusion, especially for women, and legal leaders for diversity started a deliberate push, giving a nudge to private law firms to make conscious progress on expanding opportunities for everyone and to really understand that a sense of belonging is one of the main goals we're after. In-house lawyers have been at the forefront in urging not merely sustainability, but social impact thinking. And while measures associated with ESG and corporate purpose still require better, more objective standards, it is the in-house bar that most often leads the agenda to make our world a better place. Everyone in this room is hungry to embrace the next great iteration of life and work and to have some fun and travel, if you can get through Pearson. The challenges you continue to face as leaders in your companies include what form will return to work take, and how do you retain talent in this low unemployment and highly mobile world? What, some ask slightly less seriously, will become of office romance? With hybrid work models seemingly inevitable, the future of work will test our past assumptions, and we have to think creatively about recruiting, training, networking, and building great and successful teams. In some ways, COVID has been a gift to the extent it has upended old assumptions and habits, in addition to launching a whole bunch of tech phobes way out of their comfort zone. COVID has reminded us that the art of lawyering is the art of original thinking. So tonight we applaud what you have accomplished in these very unique times. This year highlights more than any other the reason we celebrate the role, creativity, resilience, and hard work of the in-house bar in navigating all these issues. So please embrace this lovely evening of friends, colleagues, and celebrations. And thank you very much for your kind attention.